Hi, Tom.
Hi, Jamie. How are you?
Good. How was your weekend? Oh, how was your Christmas? Hey, that's right. How was your Christmas?
It's Christmas COVID style.
Totally it was, wasn't it?
So, yeah, yeah. So no, it's good. How about yours?
Same, ditto, exact same thing.
I didn't do anything but sit on my ass the whole day. I did nothing else. It was great. I lost count of the number of naps I took. It was perfect.
Oh, now that might be nice. That would be nice. I did that one day
Uh,
for sure.
yeah, it might have had something to do with the like 3 gallons of mimosas that I drank during the day. I'm not sure.
Oh, that'll do it. Hey, orange juice. It's fruit.
Yeah, okay. Orange juice doesn't give me headaches though.
Oh, yeah. Champagne does for sure.
Man, quiet group this morning.
Hey, Tom, do you have a good CPA, a local CPA that you use? I have to do that today. That's
I do not,
God.
but I think Margaret and them do. So check with Margaret and Chuck. Pretty good.
How come they're not dancing at home?
Good morning.
Good
How is
morning.
everybody? How come they're not dancing at home? Jenny's in here rocking it out to that song in the studio. So I was thinking maybe we need a catchphrase.
Okay.
You know how like what was that movie with Robin Williams, the war movie? He's like,
Yes.
"Good morning, planet Earth." No,
Yeah.
no, I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. Good morning, everybody. How are you guys? Tommy,
Good, good, good.
Denise,
Jack.
y'all. So I have been literally in my home. I got out once to go golfing for 2 weeks straight.
I have missed you.
So,
I admit,
I think-
have missed you terribly.
You might be the only one. When I walked in and the rest everybody else was like, "Oh," I'm like,
I'm here.
Yeah, I missed you so much.
Thank you guys. I appreciate that. But I did. I felt like I was on restriction, and that's what I get for coming in contact with somebody, and I shouldn't have done that. But But hey, that's the way it goes. How was your holiday?
It was great.
Was it really?
It was really great.
Good. Janie, great holiday? Was it like super low key for everybody out there? And what I mean is like, was there just a lot of people? There's like 2 people there? It's just the nature of the beast. I know. At
It
least
was
Rob.
great, but low-key.
At least Rob's got a bunch of kids, so he had his kids running around on Christmas. That's always fun, right? That's good stuff. Kim England, how are you feeling? Kim's been like down with the Rona for a while.
Really?
How are you doing?
Really?
Super. I'm super great.
You are okay, because I had heard you were
It
a
was
little sick.
just common cold symptoms, and I would have. No, common cold. Like I wouldn't have even gotten tested, except I couldn't smell it.
Oh, you couldn't smell anything, really? Well, I'm glad you're all right, because I had heard through the grapevine that you were actually sicker than that, so that's good.
Nothing.
Good.
And you know, you
Your connection's so bad, Kim, we can't hear you. I'm so sorry. It's going in and out. I'm probably the Wi-Fi. It's not us, right, Adam?
Not us.
I'm watching you, buddy. All right, I'm back. But
Did
you're
I
good
tell
now.
you I
That's,
missed you, Chuck? Did I
that's
tell
all that
you?
matters, Kim, is that you're cool, because we had heard that you were sick and it was like in the lungs and stuff, so that's good. Good. All right, so let's get rolling.
Okay, I'm ready. What are we doing today?
All right, so here's what we got going on. I was thinking about it, and I had all this stuff written up, and it was really boring.
Oh.
And I was really disappointed because it was really strange. I guess I can share some of it with you. Like the next section in the book, the Exercise Your Soul book was about like letting your voice out is what it was supposed to be, like letting your voice out. And the first exercise when I started reading this chapter is like, you're supposed to look in the mirror and growl away like your negativity and the problems and all that stuff. So you actually, this is what the book said.
Okay. No, I'm feeling it.
And then
I'm
I was
feeling
like, okay, I guess I can, I'm going to get in the mirror and I'm going to growl at myself a little bit. And I was thinking like, and then immediately after that, it says, then you have to get in there and you have to hiss away. You hiss at yourself.
it. Okay.
And so I deleted that chapter.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
on
guys.
board
I
with
could-
you then.
Okay, good. So, because I thought, maybe, Tom, do you get up and growl every morning or anything like that? Is there anything that you do? Well, does it count if your spouse does it? Because I think Ruth does it, right, Michael, to Tom, what's wrong? So anyway, I went a little bit further and I was thinking, this is the last show of the year.
Oh.
And I had some nice conversations with some people this weekend. And in the conversations, like I talked to this one person and she just had like some really rough stuff happen to her over the last 2 weeks. I mean, rough. I'm talking like a breakup. I'm talking about, somebody moving away, like all kinds of different stuff. And when I was talking to her, I'm like, well, congratulations. And she's like, well, why? And I said, because like you're cleaning out your closet.
Yeah.
You actually have the opportunity now, with, and right at the end of the year, how convenient.
That's true.
You're moving
That's
into
true.
2021 and you were able to get rid of this and she got rid of a bunch of negative things in her life. And, she was super sad. And then I'm like, it's all about your perspective on how you look at last year and all the things that happened. So, the first thing I think is this is a good opportunity for a lot of us to clean out our closets.
Yeah.
And even the people, and I know that there's people that are having a great life and everything is fired on all cylinders this year and all that sort of stuff, but there's still some stuff that maybe
For
they want to
sure,
get rid
for
of. Anything
sure.
you want to get rid of this year?
Oh, yeah.
Let's hear it. Let's get personal. Let's
Okay,
get
you
real.
tell me one thing and I'll tell you one thing.
I have little issues of like, I don't like to be by myself. Like I always have to have somebody around me.
Shocker.
So this year I'm going to work on it. Yes, I am literally going to work on it. I started talking about it. I'm doing, so like, I'm going to try to be okay to be by myself
I'm
once in a while.
really proud of you, but I think it's age because I was the same way. I was just like you. I could not be alone. And then as I got older, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm kind of cool. I
Yep.
can be by myself. I don't get bored. You won't get bored, I promise.
Okay. All right, good. Good.
Yeah.
Now, what about you?
Oh.
I gave you one. You guys are next.
Okay, yeah, you guys be thinking because I really can't think. Let me think. What do I want to get rid
Think
of?
of it as kind of like a New Year's resolution, and don't just give me the like, I'm going to lose 10 pounds.
No.
You know?
No, mine's more that there's a reason why we hold on to the weight. It's not my food. It's not how much I exercise. It's why am I holding on to it? Why? And I've gone through a lot of therapy, as you can probably tell. But it doesn't, I got to figure this out. I'm 51. I'm not doing this for the next 50 years. I'm not, because I'm going to live to be old. I am.
I believe you.
Yeah. So that's one of them, and really work on my relationships and continue to tell people how much they mean to me. I'm going to work on that.
So you're saying that there might be some psychology behind the fact that you are not getting where you want to be physically.
1,000,000%.
And do you know what that psychology is?
Probably.
Ooh, gonna work on some stuff. I like it. So you're
that
gonna
was
leave that
deep.
behind and you're gonna move on. No, that's good.
Yeah.
Tommy, you're next.
Okay, Tommy.
What kind of things are we going to? No, man. Hey, what are you gonna drop? What are you gonna change? What's the big plan? This is the opportunity. And you know what? Saying it is making it happen.
Especially with all of you. That's what's been crazy.
So what do you got, Tommy? What are you gonna do? You're muted, buddy. How about
Obviously, I
his
wanna
is going to
get
be he's going to learn to unmute before. No, I'm kidding. What do you got, Tom? Give us something good.
I remember my first Zoom meeting.
Go ahead, Tommy. What do you got, man?
Not a damn thing. I'm good all the way around. I don't know, Chuck. Obviously, I want to get in better shape. You know, I've told you what my fitness goal is for May. So I just got to start getting after it again.
Well, and
That's a big.
And honestly, Tom, like I saw a picture of one of my buddies this weekend, and he's got small kids and stuff, and you know, and he's like, I wanted to call him because he's probably got an extra 100 pounds on him. My buddy does. But I felt like if I call him, he's going to go back to high school Chuck Dickhead, not realize like, no, this is coming from a guy that actually cares about you.
Right, from a place
You
of
know what I mean?
love.
Because I'm really worried because his dad went down for that too. But you know, what do? It's just like it's a battle that everybody deals with.
Yeah, and we all
Yeah,
have our
and
demons.
you've admitted it, Chuck. You know, on here that it gets tougher as time goes by.
Yeah, and we want to keep that high energy, and we want to keep that exuberance to life, and we want to keep all those
Yeah.
things. And you can't do that when you got a 100-pound bodysuit on you. And I don't know, you know, whether it's 10 pounds for some people or 100 for others, it's the same feeling. Like even, you know, a woman that has 15 pounds on her, that is a big deal to them. You know, whether it's 100. Do you agree?
So I was carrying up, we have a weighted blanket, and I was carrying it up the stairs, and it's 25 pounds because my husband's really tall. And so I'm carrying it up, and I have to lose 2 of those. It was so heavy. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I get it. Okay, no wonder my knees hurt. No wonder. But just because, and I want to acknowledge to everyone doesn't have this battle. We all have different battles that hurt just as deeply or differently. So, and 10 pounds to some may be the same as 100 pounds to others.
For sure.
So that's something I want to
and
acknowledge.
it's not just the weight, and it's not just, you know, the energy, but it really is. I think the most important part we're forgetting is it's how you feel about yourself.
That's so true.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
like I took my shirt off yesterday. you know,
Yeah?
to jump in the shower, and I took a look, and you know, I was doing my thing. I had a song on, and I'm like, ooh,
Oh,
maybe I'm not gonna do that today.
you still have to do it.
All right,
Embrace
fine.
the body that God gave you that
Thanks
you're
for the
in
visual,
right now.
Chuck.
Did you guys all get the visual of that?
It's good. I liked it. Did
Oh,
you
Adam,
do
you
it?
love it. You love it. Hey, does anybody else have anything that they want to, I mean, before we get moving, does anybody else have anything that they want to commit that they're going to do? And it doesn't just have to be physical. I mean, I told you guys I'm not a big fan of being alone, and I'm going to work on that. And, you know, like, but do other people have things that they're going to want, that they want to work on this year, that they want to just say out publicly? Because this is your time. And I think saying it is making it happen, like I said. Anybody out there? It's your opportunity.
I'll chime in.
Amber, bring it.
Yay, Amber.
All right. So I posted this comment or I posted this meme in the comments, but I read this morning and it really hit hard. There's certain circles that you go into of people, you see like conversations they're having and there's stuff they're talking about, and it just doesn't resonate with you. It's so far beyond the negativity and all that kind of stuff. And they're, you know, comparing who has the better coat or the better Chanel purse and who's got, you know, plastic surgery, and all these conversations of all this materialistic stuff that in the end of the day, when you're gone, you're not going to have any of that. Like at your funeral, they're not going to talk about what car you drove and what kind of purse you had and how big your diamond ring was and any of that stuff. It's going to be the person that you were and your personality. So this meme really kind of resonated with that. It says, ships don't sink because of the water around them. Ships sink because of the water that gets in them. Don't let what's happening around you get inside you and weigh you down. So
That's good.
I like that.
That's so good, Amber.
I like that, Amber. And you know what? That's actually leads into the theme too of today. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, so anybody else have anything they want to share? Like any closet cleaning they want to get done? And you know, don't say it if you don't mean it, by the way. You got to mean it. You got to mean it, and you got to go get it. Anybody? Last chance? No? All right. So
Hey, I got one, Chuck.
let's hear it, Rob.
Hey, I'm just I'm working on having like a good thing of jokes like up my sleeve, because when you get around people like at dinner, you got to have that stuff. And I've been using the same little jokes for probably like the last 3 years, and they're corny. So I'm definitely trying to like work on that.
I like it. So Rob's going to be the showman.
I love it. I love it.
The life of every party.
Yeah.
I like it, man. Where you
Yeah.
at? You in San Diego?
I'm in New York, man.
Oh, nice. You tuned in from New York? You're my boy.
I'm in
We are
New York, yeah.
bi-coastal.
I love it. We're bi-coastal. Nice, man. Well, thank you for taking the time to do that. That means a lot. All right, so
Yeah.
so I'm going to jump ahead now, guys, and just get started. And then, I want you guys to all be thinking about, right now I want you to be thinking about the negative things you want to get rid of, and I want you to think about the positive things that you want to add to your life. That's the most important things for me right now. And then I'd love some interaction from everybody and kind of seeing where it's at. So I was mentioning that I talked to a few different people that are, got some rough stuff going on, but they're cleaning out their closet and all that. And as I was doing that, I was listening to the radio this morning, and a Beatles song came on. And it was, I'm a huge Beatles fan, right? And it was Here Comes the Sun, right? And it's really funny because it's a great song. Even like Frank Sinatra said, like it was probably the greatest song written of all time and blah, blah, blah. And then I was thinking about the situation that had occurred with a friend of mine. And I was just thinking, here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's been a long, long, lonely winter. And it feels like years since I've been okay, And then it moves on and it says, little darling, I feel the ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like things are beginning to be clear, and so the sun is poking out, but luckily the only way for the sun to poke out is to eliminate those clouds, and I don't know, it hit me in a good spot this morning, just the fact that we just have to be looking for that, and looking for the positive. And I'm like, this is a new year and a new opportunity and a new time to do big things. And that's what led into the next chapter. And it's really funny, Amber, because check out the name of this chapter. It's chapter 6 in the book.
Okay.
And it's called Coming from Your Heart and Doing the Things You Love. That's what it's about. Coming from your heart and doing the things you love. When I talk to Tom, who manages the Marietta office, he tells me all the time, he goes, hey, man, I go home tired sometime. He goes, but I love what I do. And that's what emanates. You can see that from Tom. And when you come to the office and when you work in his office, you can feel that. When when you're talking to Kim England, she's always positive about what she's doing. She's a lender. She did 50 deals, a couple months ago. She loves what she does. And so some people are just really fortunate and have found that right path, and some haven't. And so here's a couple of the quotes. To love what you do and feel it matters. How could anything be more fun? To love what you do and feel it matters. How could anything be more fun?
That's so good.
I was talking to my old partner here, the one that I bought out to buy into this real estate company, and she had told me, she said, what success is as a parent? And I said, no, what is it? And she said, success as a parent is if you can get your kids to where they go into doing a job every day that they love. They said, your job is to get your children to be able to go into work and do what they love, because that's where they're going to spend their times and their lives.
That's good.
That seems like pretty good parental advice.
Good.
So, and when you hear that your kid hates his job or hates their boss or this or that or whatever, it's like, it's torture. You don't want that for them. And most likely their heart is not in line with what they're doing. So here's what it says. Number one, your heart, not your head, should decide how you spend your life. And I think our head is going to tell us to go for money, right? Our head's going to tell us, Amber, that we need to get that purse, that we need to get that car, that you need to have that house. But really, your heart is going to tell you, go make people happy. When I ask Adam, I ask him all the time, I'm like, I don't know if you remember this, Adam. He's our video producer here. And I said, Adam, what's your goal in life? And that's a tough question for people. Like, what do you want more than anything? And he said, I want to make videos that make people laugh. That's a killer answer.
Bless your heart, you're doing this.
Right, and all we're doing is making them depressed by talking about this.
And I was going to say, if that's your measurement for success as a parent, then my parents must have failed them horribly.
Epic fail.
Just kidding, Jim.
No,
No,
I
what?
know, you're amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, but
and you do.
that was his,
You do.
and a lot of times people will come to me, or to you or conversations or to anybody out in the world, and they'll basically say like, I want to do big things, and I want to make an impact, and I want to do my purpose. Here's the scary part. They don't know what it is.
Right, what's your purpose?
They don't know what their purpose is, and some people are born and they know where it is, or you end up being Tom managing an office of 100 people, and he feels good and he knows this is where he's supposed to be. Whereas most people, and you can see them in the stores, and you can see their miserableness on them when they're at work, and you can feel them, and you can see the little angry nurses that hate their life, and that maybe that wasn't the right path for them, you know. But it's so hard, and so there's a little bit of an exercise in here that talks about finding your life purpose, and I'm not just mean your job too. I mean, it's really how you spend your time.
Yeah.
And it's just asking yourself what you like and all that sort of stuff. But we're going to do that. That one's going to be coming up. We're going to be doing that in another show. That's going to be a whole show. Number 2, we were created to do the things we love. We are rewarded in life when we do the things that we love, and the gratitude and everything that is attached to that is all part of the package.
Yes.
And I would agree with that. And, you know, that's kind of like biblical too, by the way.
Yes.
You know, I mean, that it says the same thing. Number 3, when your heart is full and joyful, it is reflected in your health, your body, you're traveling from, you know, your mind, your spirit. It's just, if you're happy in what you do, and if you're living the life you're supposed to be living, it's going to, like you said, I'm going to live a long time. You remember when you said that? You said you're going to live a long time because you like your life.
I do.
And we all have to like our lives. And the key to that is finding that purpose and what we're supposed to be doing, both inside and outside of our careers. For some people, it's just, you know, raising their kids and doing a fabulous job and watching them hit a home run in Little League. For some people, it's watching their, you know, it's, I mean, like,
It changes. Each, you have these different seasons, and that took me a while to figure out, because definitely we have all these different seasons in our lives and what our purpose is during that season. And that's a great joy too. You know, because what your purpose, and I say this when in interviews and whatnot, like, you know, we're picking on Amber today, but like Amber still has one at home. So her life, her purpose is going to change in 10 years, you know, and then we have the others who I see who are already, we're living our life, man, because kids are out, you know. So it's a different season. So just embrace that season.
Yep. So, and you know what, this reminds me, and this is way off subject, but I have to tell you this. So I was telling you the story about how Jody said, you know, that it's about, you know, doing what your kids doing what they love every day. But Margaret also said this, and I may have told you this before, but they said, do you want to know how good of it, Margaret said this to me, and you know, Margaret's probably one of the best parents I've ever met, right?
Yes.
And she said, do you want to know the real measure of success as a parent? And I said, sure. What's the real measure of success as a parent? And she said, it's not how your kids turn out, it's how your grandkids turn out. We and I've talked about that before.
You told me that.
And so you guys out there, if you're starting to see like your grandkids are doing all right, you did good. All right, no matter how jacked up your kids are, if the grandkids are okay, you did good. So,
it's so scary.
I know, isn't it? You know, and so I know a lot of people in the company. I mean, we have 300 people in the company, and you know, I'd say like 100 crank and a couple hundred, you know, kind of have a little bit of a backseat, but that's okay, because you know, when this is you'll like this, Tom. So when we went through our top like 70, 80 agents in the company, and I pulled up all their stats, and I pulled up all their numbers, and I was looking at them all, and I was going to do a panel, if you recall, and that panel was going to be on dealing with your kids during COVID. That was going to be it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go get some top producers. I'm going to get like 5 top producers. Tom, I went through 80 of our top agents, 80. Only 5 of them had small kids. Only 5 of them had small kids. The other 75 were all people who had an empty nest. Isn't that weird?
It makes sense. Well, and that 5, kudos, man. And some of them are at home with those kids. Dear God.
Well, and of those 5, 3 of them have their kids in private school right now that are not home. So there's only 2 that are actually home with their kids. One is a top tenor. That's Jennifer Moore. And then one of them was
Jennifer Murphy.
Jennifer Murphy. No, I mean under 12. I'm sorry.
Under 12.
I meant under 12. Yeah, small kids. You know, when they get older, their incomes go up too, right? But there was one more, and I feel terrible for not remembering. But it just goes to show, like, but they're putting their priorities over here. You know, but not that those 5 aren't doing a great job, because I've met their kids. They're great. But you know what I mean. So anyways, okay, sorry. Number 4, choices come from the heart. We mentioned that one a little bit. And number 5, when we enjoy our job, it's as if we're not working.
It's true.
And you know, Adam, what does Margaret call this place in here? Do you guys remember what this place is called?
Is it Disneyland?
Yeah. Margaret, she says, "Oh, how's things at Disneyland?" Meaning the marketing department here. You know, and I'm like, we're getting things done, but it's just because people are happy here. I'm sorry. And then she goes back over to accounting. Laura, get to work. You know, I'm like, well, that works too. Okay. I'm just kidding. Good job, Vicky. Vicky's snuggling with her grandson right now. I like it. And he's turning out good. So see, even though Renee was a little wild, she turned out okay, Vicky. Just kidding. All right. So
well, that's still not to be seen. We'll see.
That's a good point.
She's a good kid.
I know. You gosh dang done good, Vicki. All right, so the other thing I thought was interesting is, and it ties in with the job, Mondays have the highest rates of illness, people calling in sick. It also has the highest day of suicides and mortality rates.
Oh.
Okay, I mean, I know that's serious stuff, but Mondays are the days that are kind of the dark day of the week for people that are not happy in their lives and their careers. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Because they're going somewhere that they don't want to be. You know, I mean, Jeannie, you know, Kim, Sue, when you guys all flipped on your computers this morning, you were probably happy to do so. You know, and that's like a gift, you know, so, okay, cool. It's Monday, we're going to get started, we're going to get charging, you know, all that, whereas a lot of people don't have that luxury.
No.
There's
Yeah.
actually a scientific thing that therapists call the Sunday scaries. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Sunday scaries, where basically it's the dread of Monday coming to you. They refer to it clinically as the Sunday scaries.
I just think of that 80s song, I Don't Like Mondays. I think it was, I don't want to say Boomtown Rats.
Just
that song.
another man.
Oh, that song too.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I guess like that voice. I worked a lot on that.
That's good. I'm tone deaf, so you sounded great.
All right. So anyway, pardon? What did Tom say?
I don't know.
Don't give up your day job.
Tom, don't forget I can mute you like this and pick on you for like, what do we have left?
45 minutes.
40. Just kidding. So as it was talking about that on Mondays, it says, you know, most people, unfortunately, most people in the world don't enjoy what they're doing. Now think about it. If you go to, you know, to some, and the people you see in general in life, you know, whether you're retail, and some people, I mean, one of the best jobs I ever had, I worked at the Lake Elsinore Outlet Center in retail.
You
And
did?
I loved it. I worked there for 2 years.
Where did you work?
All through college. I worked at Van Heusen.
Sure.
Yeah, and but I loved it. I mean, we had a great old time, you know. But then there's the people that are there that are, you know, a little bit older that maybe aren't enjoying it. You can tell they're miserable and wish they would have taken another path, you know. But I like the social portion.
Also,
of it,
don't you think we all can find joy where we're at, no matter what? I mean, because we've all had those jobs. I mean, we've all had those jobs, and we had to work with that person who weren't cool or whatever. So you can be happy.
It's true. I think those are the people Amber's talking about. Those people that aren't cool.
Yeah.
So anyways, most people aren't enjoying what they're doing. Most people aren't happy with their career paths, and the ladder of success means nothing if it doesn't fulfill your heart. And I think that was Amber's point at the beginning. Is, you know, I mean, hey, Adam, what are we getting paid to do this show? Nothing. All you guys that are on here and contributing, nothing. We're doing it because it makes us feel good. It makes us better people, and you know, it's like a big family. You know, that's
Cheaper than therapy.
Nothing's better being the employee that works in the department that loses money, by the way. He reminds me of that every single day. Remember, you don't make us any money out of it.
Here's reason. I need this new mic. I need this. I need that. No, you don't. We can get by, and then we won't lose money. Okay. Sorry, guys. It gets out of hand.
We're taking care of house business right now.
Never
Sorry.
gave me a microphone check.
I know. Michael, pull that thing. All right. So, but this was a big thing too. So, tell me if this resonates with any of you guys out there. Tell me if this resonates. Sometimes it takes a life crisis to start listening to what our heart is telling us.
1,000,000%.
Sometimes, I remember, you know, one of my buddies' dads had a heart attack, and within a couple of years, I didn't recognize him anymore. He was fit. He was living on vegetables and fruit. He was out hiking. He, you know, had a whole new lease on life. But I thought that was interesting. Sometimes it takes a life crisis to start listening to what our heart is telling us. And I do know, you know, and this goes back to what we've always been talking about with the life lessons in life, and how, you know, like the hard parts that hit you end up being the things that make you better, you know, and make you grow. And I was thinking about, you know, Margaret had breast cancer twice. And I remember she showed me like how gnarly what she went through was. And I asked her, you know, was it just the worst experience of your life? And she said it was at the time, but now it's the best thing that ever happened to me. She said, because my worldview completely changed. She said, I am not the same person as I was. I don't know, you probably remember that, Kim. You know, I mean, so, you know, I'm not the same person that I was before that cancer. And like, she was, you know, hardcore work, and she changed. And
She worked harder than this? Dear gosh.
she was the #1 agent in all of Southwest Riverside County. I don't know if you know that, for years, you know, but it just kind of reevaluated everything for her, you know, and so again, sometimes it takes a life crisis to start listening to what our heart's telling us. And I was thinking when I was reading that line about Tim McGraw, you know, I went skydiving and I went Rocky Mountain, you know, all the things, because I know Tom loves to hike, and, you know, different people love to do different things, but a lot of times we don't make those a priority because we're just too busy caught up in the day-to-days when our heart's telling us, like, what do you like to do? What's fun? What should you be doing? What do you need to be doing more of?
Do you know what popped in my head?
What?
Dancing.
Really?
That's interesting.
We're going to have
See
a
it.
whole...
Let's see it. Is that what you said?
Who said that?
Oh, you may be sad. Yes, buddy. You may be sad.
All right, Tom, this is a family show, okay? Not that kind of dancing. Sorry. Okay. No, dancing is cool. And by the way, there's a whole section in this book that says that you should take up dancing and that it's really good for the soul. And how many people have we known that have jumped into salsa
Yeah,
or to whatever?
yeah.
And you know what? You got
Yeah.
moves. I've seen you. You're fun. And you should. And you have a big smile on your face when you're doing
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
You know, and in 15 more years, you're going to be like, you know, so go get it.
15 years. How old will I be in 15 years?
66? No?
Yeah.
Maybe. All right,
Oh,
so...
that's young. Bite your freaking
No,
tongue.
no, I'm kidding. I'm saying go get it now. No, look, there's people on the call. That's not what I'm saying. Sue, all you guys, somebody just flipped me the bird. I saw it. That is wrong.
I was just trying to unmute myself. Chuck, be nice. Come on.
Okay.
67 is not old.
No, that's not what I meant. I was talking about
No, if I
she
don't.
could still maybe go and be a backup for J-Lo right now. That's
Hell
what I meant.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
No?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Sure. We're
So-
the same age.
Sorry,
That's
Sue. That's not
depressing.
what I meant. I'm sure you got some moves. All right. So they stop doing what they're doing and chase their true passions. That's what I mean by a lot of times when they have that big moment, that life and death situation, you know. And I've seen people like have a friend, something happens to a friend, and they just quit, up, move, and start traveling the world for a year, you know, because
what's
they realize
yours?
life's so short.
What do you think you should be doing more?
I'm doing it. I'm
Yeah.
liking this. Yeah, I like this. I feel fortunate. I mean, I think we'd all like to travel, but we can't. You know, I mean, a lot of the passions of like adventuring out in the world right now, we can't do.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys, you know, all out there right now, but I love to adventure, you know, and find yourself in some little cool, you know, place down in Mexico or wherever, or Israel or whatever. You can't do anything right now.
Yeah.
You know, what are you laughing at?
Just your expression there, Jenny. You're like,
Michael,
get
you were supposed to
scared.
take his mic.
I get scared. I really do. Does anyone else like the thought of going to an unknown place? Oh, just scare the poop out of you? I lost my mind.
Well, I mean, yeah, so
I'm a homebody, so I have to agree with Jenny.
yeah, but I mean, you know, I mean, I went to Israel for 5 days by myself. We talked about that,
I
and
know.
going by myself, that was a big deal.
That's huge, especially because you don't like to be alone.
No, that was the only time I've ever been by myself, actually. But it was cool. You
I
know,
travel all the time by myself.
who is that?
Oh, Sequoia?
Sequoia, let's go. That we don't have to do that anymore. I'll hang out with you. No, wait, that's the way I'm supposed to not do that. I'm sorry, I
Supposed
gotta.
to be by yourself.
All right. All right. Well, I know a lot of people do that, but I tell you though, I mean, it's the adventures that I miss. You know, like when I went there, I was in temples with Hasidic Jews, and I was with people from Denmark and Botswana and like all over, like
That
finding
is
out their
cool.
stories. I had lunch with me and a table of 20 Nigerian nurses. You know what I
That's
mean? I mean,
cool.
that's like badass.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the stuff that I'd miss is just the more adventuring of life and getting out and really meeting things. And I don't know, right now we just can't do that, so we have to create happiness within the household.
Yes. No. And smile when you say that. Happiness within the household. You're here doing this. Not being able to go out created this.
Okay, that's right. That's right. So stop with doing and chase the world. And when you eliminate the life that is killing you, you save your true life.
Say it again.
When you eliminate the life that is killing you, you save your true life.
Oh.
Now that may not be you because you got a good life, but I think there's a lot of people out there that just aren't happy.
Does this mean kill your spouse?
Okay, Michael,
Michael, take his food.
I'm serious.
No, but every
Thank
little
you.
part, but we all can take that. I think we all can take that. I think that's really good.
I know. It is. And it's eliminating those roadblocks. So I'm going to open it up a little bit,
Yeah.
like
Let's hear
just
people.
for people that are, you know, this is the year. 2021 could be, you know, I said this in 2020. Everybody thinks I'm a liar now.
No, you got to. We're easing into 2021 slowly. We're not scaring anyone.
What did everybody say? They're going to walk softly. They're going to have
Yeah.
their hands
We're gonna-
crossed,
yeah.
right? And they're going to walk in very quietly
Yeah.
and just sit down
Yes.
and just pray that if they're good boys and girls, that
Yes.
everything goes well. So
Nobody claim it's your year.
I know,
Keep your
right?
mouth shut.
So, you know, I mean, does anybody have any good positive things that they're going to be doing? Teresa, talk to me. What are you going to eliminate in 2020 and move forward towards in 2021?
Oh my gosh, Chuck. I mean, seriously, I actually have had a pretty good year for 2020 considering everything that's gone on, except for the traveling. Like you said, this has probably been the first year that I haven't gone somewhere. But I mean, I can't think of anything that I'm going to get rid of other than I hope this damn virus goes away. Excuse my French.
Well, here's the great part, Teresa, and I'm going to say that this is something new in the last year or two. Okay, you genuinely look happy,
Yes, she exudes joy.
and I have to say,
I have my family. I have 11 grandkids that are all doing amazing. My kids, are doing amazing. I'm up here in a cabin with a big snowstorm happening outside. While I'm going through multiple offers on my newest listing.
Awesome.
I mean, I love what I do. I don't know how to say.
Here's what I want you to do right now. I want you to knock on wood.
Yeah.
Okay, because Teresa, I would say 2 years ago, I wouldn't have felt this happiness from you. I'm being honest, so you seem like you're in a great place. You're in a great place.
I am.
And by the way, I'm going to tell a ridiculous, stupid story that nobody cares about. But like my mom was all into like Wiccan stuff and all that. She was all hooked on all that, tarot cards and all that. Does everybody know why you knock on wood? You do. I've told you.
I love
But
that.
do you guys know why we knock on wood? Why do we go knock on wood quick? The reason that we knock on wood, and it goes all the way back to like 3,000 years ago with the pagans, where they believed that each tree had a fairy in it, and that fairy would grant your wishes. And so when you knocked on that tree, you were waking up that fairy to grant your wish. So
just love it.
anyways, that's really, what knocking on wood is. So anytime you want to, but I'm not sure if this dead piece of compressed wood counts
I think it's
based on what I just said, but who knows?
No,
Who
fairies
knows?
can live in that. I think it's more of a spiritual thing,
Yep. Becca, talk to me. What are you going to get rid of in 2020? Hey, and you've had a rough year. From where you went to where you are now? Share it.
So this year I'm actually starting off with a challenge. I'm going to do what's called 75 hard. And it's really just a challenge to myself to stick to something for 75 days.
That's a lot.
And they're actually like pretty easy tasks.
No, they're
but
not. No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. They are. It's like reading 10 pages from a book, any book, something self-motivating is preferred. And
Red fish, blue fish, one
working
fish,
out
two
twice
fish.
a day for 45 minutes, one's outside, drinking a gallon of water, stuff like that. Just stuff to kind of help like the health of your mind and motivate yourself to know that you can do that. And once you get to the end of the 75 days, it's like a huge accomplishment. It's not really a physical thing as much as it is a mental.
I love it. I love it. I do have to agree with Jenny though. 45 minutes inside and outside, read 10 pages, drink a gallon.
Yeah.
It is a handful.
And a full-time job, and you have a little one. Because she's like, Jenny, I think you'd be into this. I'm like, girl, I gotta get working out once a day.
All right,
you
right.
know? But
Hey,
I'm really proud of you, Becca.
Yeah, I like that. That's
I'm
a good
really proud
commitment.
of
And
you.
by the way, I don't know, you guys at home don't get the opportunity to see the Zoom that I see, but I just saw Rob's daughter run up and give him a kiss on the cheek.
Oh,
Dude, don't forget, man. That's the good stuff.
that is the good stuff.
That's the good stuff, man. That's the good stuff. So, because pretty soon they're gone.
I told them my middle daughter turned 30 today.
Oh my gosh.
30.
Really?
And some of you have been there.
Yep. A lot of these people are 30.
So just enjoy that.
Right.
Enjoy every moment.
Right. So, Deanna, I normally don't see you with your camera on the calls,
Ooh.
but she is on the call. I'm not sure it's upside down and backwards. She's following a man through the house.
Oh my.
Who is that guy? And it's upside down. All right. Well, we're not going to hit on Deanna yet because she's upside down and backwards. But anyways, all right. So shall we keep moving?
Yeah. What's next?
Okay. So that's pretty much the end of it. It's just, in the next year, try to live your purpose. You'll be happier. You'll live longer. You'll be more energetic. You'll be more exuberant. I think good things will happen. So I like that. I thought that was a great chapter.
too.
Much better than.
Hey, Chuck, I've got another awesome quote that I forgot about that I sort of live by if I can share.
Let's hear it, Amber.
All plays into this. So it says, "You're not behind in life. There's no timetable that we all must follow. It's made up. 7 billion people can't do everything in the same order. What's early, what's late, compared to who? Don't beat yourself up for where you are. It's your schedule and everything is right on time."
Amber, I think we've added in motivation Amber to the show.
Yeah, that's so good, Amber. And you know what?
This
Amber
isn't my
lives in
jam.
Riverside.
I live off this stuff.
Oh no, I mean, hey, you're
Yeah.
surrounding yourself with positivity. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the good stuff.
And
Go
I
ahead.
have to. Amber
You have
lives in
to.
Riverside, so she's not close to us.
Really?
But she chose us because of this stuff. I think of our connection.
Well, I grew up in Canyon Lake, and when I was picking I grew up in Redondo Beach and Canyon Lake, between the two. And so I interviewed multiple offices. And it was honestly, it was all Coldwell Banker offices. And I just didn't feel it. I didn't feel a connection. There was something off. And a couple of people that I've talked to know a few of the offices that I interviewed with, and they're like, you listened to your heart and you made the right choice. But this is honestly like the meat and potatoes that I needed. Like, not just this motivational stuff to be a better person, to be positive, all that kind of stuff, but the education. Like, I'm a sponge, feed me.
Love it.
So even though I drive over, it's not that far, and I picked the right place.
Good.
Yay.
That's a good answer.
That is.
So basically you came here because of Jeannie. She sold you.
Just say yes.
She sold you. All right. Well, that's cool. I do like that quote. So let's move on.
Okay.
The next thing that I wanted to talk about was the next chapter is called Moving into the Sunshine.
Ooh.
Okay. Moving into the Sunshine. And moving into the sunshine, I had a little bit harder time relating to it than maybe you would or some people. And the reason I kept it is because I know not everybody's like me.
Right.
But like Tom, I know this is going to resonate with you and with a lot of you guys. Jenny won me over. Lindsay just said that's why I'm here.
Oh.
Anyways. So the kicker is it says that you have to get in touch with nature is what it says. And there are parts that I agree with. Okay. And I don't know if you're a nature person, but I know some of you guys are. Maybe you guys can enlighten me.
And me.
As to why, and
Yes.
and by the way, if there's any, and I do want to welcome inside of our closed groups, we do have Coldwell Banker Coastal Alliance.
Oh,
now.
welcome.
And so they're from Long Beach and Seal Beach and Lakewood, and I know most of the people down there, and it's a super great crowd.
Oh,
that's
chime
jumping
in, people. We want to hear what you love about nature.
And I know they don't have the Zoom link, so if
Okay.
you see anything, Michael, that anybody has any questions or comments, let me know, and we'll Zoom them in because
Okay.
they're really great people that'll bring a lot of value
love
to,
it.
to it all. So, but when we talked about moving into the sunshine, nature versus nurture is really what it is. It's that nature is always available, always accessible, and according to this chapter, it's the best way to create inner healing. Is kind of what it
they
says.
say.
Now, I don't know what everybody, and I see Tom shaking his head, I see Amber, a few people, are agreeing, but for me, I've never been that guy that likes to go for a hike or, and it's not that I don't like to, I've just never done it, So,
Yeah, I know.
what do you think of all that stuff?
Well, last week you said everyone needs to take a walk. You
I did do
challenged
that.
it. I did too.
Nice. Did anybody else go take a walk?
Yeah.
Let me see. No.
Yeah. Oh,
Tom
okay,
did.
Denise,
You take walks anyway.
Janie, Reggie.
Amber did.
Hey, Chuck.
Yes.
Hey, Chuck, you play golf. Isn't that getting out into nature? Aren't you walking the course?
No,
was doing it. It was
I take a
inside.
cart and then I walk 3 steps to my ball and I hit it and then I take 3 steps back.
Okay, come on. I was pulling for you, Chuck.
So, but
With a
thank you.
glass of tequila.
No, I don't drink hard liquor on the course. Not
But
till I
you-
get to the clubhouse.
You are in fresh air. You are in sunshine.
Yes.
So I think the fresh air, correct me if I'm wrong, people who are outside people, is it the fresh air that does it for you? Well, the vitamin D, Adam says we all need to be taking vitamin D because we don't go outside. So tell me, everyone, what is it?
What is
why
the
do we need to
connection
go
with
outside?
nature? Well, I can tell you, like with golf, it's beautiful. I mean, the trees
Yeah.
out there are 50 to 100 years old. If you go down to Bear Creek, for example,
Mm-hmm.
those trees are hundreds and hundreds of years old, and they are giant, and they'll move you. You know what I mean? Until they get in your way, then you want to move them. But anyways, no, I mean, there is some magic to that, and there are a couple things that I do like. But Tom, I mean, every year, for years, you've gone up hiking the Grand Canyon, and I believe, I mean, you may have gone like you go up to Mammoth. You go all over the place. So what's the allure?
I saw some guy that was like 25 years old on YouTube, and he said it's to experience the moments that most will never see. And so you can hike in the mountains or down in the Grand Canyon. You might hike for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then all of a sudden you come around a corner, and it's unbelievable. And so you'll actually work to get there.
And do you feel better, like when you leave mentally? Maybe it's because you're leaving life behind, but.
Yes. And Chuck, looking back, back when I was young, fit, traveling and racing, I mean, I've run along the world's biggest fjord in Norway. I've run through the mountains around Rotorua, New Zealand, that just are absolutely breathtaking. And so I've been able to experience some really awesome times in nature. And you have to remember, I was fit enough then that it didn't take a lot out of me. I wasn't out of breath while I was looking at all this.
Right. Anybody else, like any other secrets to, nature? I mean, anybody like feel an affinity towards it that likes it? Who's a hiker here? Anybody a hiker? There you are, Deanna.
I'm a hiker.
You're a hiker? Tell me about it.
I love hiking. I'm actually a part of a few different hiking groups.
Hiking groups, huh? I like that. I mean, that's a good idea. I mean, I even think jeeping groups are like that. I mean, you get to go sing.
Yeah.
I like that, Tom, because you get to see things that you haven't. But, you know, this part just really says that it's kind of like good for the soul and inner healing. And that's kind of what I'm more interested in. But I do think, you know, and it says leave your car far behind, you know, all that sort of stuff. And that seems right.
I want to do Runyon Canyon. I think that's what it is, the one in Los Angeles. But we drove up there, and like, unless you know it, you don't know where to park. It's very daunting. We've tried, but
You got to go with somebody who's been there.
Yeah.
That's why, like Sequoia was saying, like, you
Yeah.
probably got to, like, if they're, you know, what'd be interesting is just, but next thing you know, you're like the last one and dead and wondering why you did it.
Would be me. Just pick me up
Ryan
on the
is way too busy and too much traffic there.
Oh, there
we
it
should
is.
start our own hiking group.
Yes.
It can be you and Sequoia.
Sequoia just picked me up on the way back, Dave. It'll be all
Pick
right.
me up on the way back.
You haven't met, I don't know if you've met Sequoia. She's fit.
Oh, okay. Well, there it is. Well, probably we know why now.
I know,
Right now,
because
so.
she hikes.
So, you know, but I will admit, and this I have to agree with, and I'll bet you everybody across the board agrees with this. Why do we like Hawaii? Why do we
Never
like
been.
Cabo? Why do we like Cancun? Why do we like Huntington, San Diego, like all those places? See, you've been there.
I was like I've been in those places.
All right, well, listen. We like it because the ocean is there.
Yes.
And, you know, like to walk down by the beach by yourself and reevaluate, you know, your brain, and as the currents are going back and forth and what you want. And, you know, I mean, I've had some pretty traumatic times that I've gone down there and dealt with it, you know, but do you guys feel the same way about the beach or the ocean? Like, do any of you guys just feel like there's just some magical, mysterious, moonlit,
Yes.
you
Any
know,
water.
lunar
Any water
pull?
will do that. Any water will do that for me.
I agree. Anybody like, you know, I'm going to totally switch off topics
Okay.
here, but do you guys have anywhere, like, when the shit hits the fan in your life, do you have anywhere that you go? Or is that just
I
me?
do.
No, we do. Tell us, people.
Where do you go?
Well, the beach, and we've always been a desert family. So for me to be able to get on my like dirt bike, quad, whatever it is,
Yeah.
and ride out into the middle of nowhere
Mhm.
and think, that's when I've done, like, that's my zen. Some people it's surfing, some people it's yoga,
Right.
walking on the beach, whatever. But for me, like, to ride out in the middle of nowhere and just see like absolute beauty and rock formations, especially at sunset, that's an awesome one, or sunrise, and just see like the creation, and you really step back and kind of value like
Well,
the stuff that's really bothering you or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
things don't matter anymore. Like, that's the beauty.
well, and Amber, it talks about whether, you know, for me it's the ocean or for whatever, but or whether it's the desert, and you know, like they always say there's a magic to the desert. You know, there is truly and the real word is there's a magic to the Mojave. You know, and that's right out here in Southern California, and I agree with that. The silence, the brightness of the stars, the shine of the moon, you know, I mean, all that sort of stuff. But this says that the cool part about all those things is how much better the beach, the mountains, the desert, all that is, because there's no horns, there's no fire trucks, there's no sirens, and that stuff just crowds in on you in life, you know, and it kind of takes away your zen.
Yeah.
You know, and so getting out to do that, I think, is the real key. But what I meant more than that, Amber, and you know, this is for everybody out there, like, you know, we all have problems, whether it's relationship problems, whether it's, you know, I mean, it could be I have no idea, you know, what people deal with, but a kid getting a DUI, you know, a death in the family, you know, trying to find your purpose in life, trying to make big decisions. Like for me, there's a little church over here, St. Vincent Ferrer. Vicky, I think you're really familiar with it. And right on Bradley, and whenever I have to make big decisions in my life, I go lock myself in there, you know, and I'll just sit in there for an hour or two and like clear my head. It's Catholic church, I'm not even Catholic, but
It doesn't
it's
matter.
the peace, it's their serenity, it's leaving my phone outside, you know, and usually I walk out of there with clarity. I remember one time it was like one of the most difficult decisions I ever had to make in my life. And I went and I sat in there, I sat down, and then all of a sudden like 9 or 10 people come in and they start like chanting a rosary, and and I was like, it was the most moving experience like ever. But do any of you guys have places like that you go for your solace to clear your head, or is that just something unique to me?
No, I think people do.
Do you have anywhere like that?
I used to, but like now it's more, it's an inward thing for me because we've moved. I grew up in Hemet, but when we moved away, I had to find it. So I guess I think it's prayer. It's prayer.
I like that. Well, that's basically
What you're doing.
Yeah, that's
what we all
basically what
do.
I'm like.
Yeah.
Dear God, please help me get my shit together.
Lead me to where I'm supposed to go. Lead
Yeah.
me to where I'm supposed to go. It may not be where I want to go. Lead
Yeah.
me where I'm supposed to go.
I like that. I like that. Christopher, welcome to the call, man. I see you on it. How about you, man? I know you're a young dude, right? How's this stuff all resonating with you, man? You got a big, bright future.
I love it. Thank you. Good morning. How are you, Chuck?
Doing great, man. Doing great. Now, how about you? Anything you're going to dump in 2020 and go get in 2021?
Yes. I want to thank you guys for the opportunity. Being here, part of the office, I love it. You guys share great information, and I love, just hearing it and tuning in. As far as something that I could say that I'm gonna, let's see, that I can say that I'm gonna like start doing more of is like less procrastination, and whenever I think of something, just get to it.
Good.
You are not the first person to say that. As a matter of fact, it was Penn Morphus. I saw Penn's comment come through, and she said, Penn, are you on? Are you still there? Because I want to just reiterate what she said.
Yeah, she's still
Yes,
on.
I am.
Penn, what
Hi.
did you say, Penn? Do you?
My what I commented, it's I need to stop saying I'll do it tomorrow when if I can do it today, because tomorrow is not promised. I just actually it hit me this morning. I heard from my previous client, he lost his wife. It just they lived there for 2 years and he lost her, and he told me hug your loved ones today because tomorrow is not promised. I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah. It was,
I do. So I like that. So she's got two things that she said just there. Like number one is, and I have to say this, Penn, and I sit with Margaret, every day. And when Margaret, if there's something that she, like, hey, in the next, we need to make sure that we give corporate a call and make sure that we tell them this. And she's like, and she hands a piece of paper. She goes, okay, go call them.
Yeah.
That's how she operates. And she goes, it's going to be, and literally, I'll walk from the office, the 100 yards back to my desk. By the time I get to my desk, she's ringing through asking me how it went when I called them.
It's so true.
And I'm like, I just left the office. And she's like, well, I got to get you off my list. And I'm like, okay, all right, and then I'm like, well, I got to go to the restroom real quick. And I go to the restroom and I get back and, Jen's like, oh, Margaret called.
Yeah.
She wanted to know how the call went, and I love it and I hate it.
Yeah.
But it's a get it done sort of attitude, So Penn, you just got to put it at the top of your daily to-do list. But a lot of times, like, it's so funny because we'll be doing the business planning prospecting sessions. I'm like, and you guys that are on here will get this, but I'll be like, okay, we got to text 10 clients today. That's the job. And everybody's like, yeah. Even though the best thing we could possibly be doing is everybody shut up, open up your phones, and let's text them right now while we're sitting here. Because when we put it on that to-do list, it's like that procrastinate out list. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you're like, I got to call them. I'm going to call them tomorrow. Why not right now? You're sitting here. Look at Adam. He's just sitting there.
Yeah.
He could be texting people right now. So I like that one, Penn. And then, of course, the second one is important. And that's what I was talking about before, where, like, some form of a tragedy often will wake you up.
Yeah.
So good stuff. Anybody else? Does anybody else have anything that, what about you, Denise? You've been awfully quiet today. What sorts of things are you going to eliminate in 2020 and move forward with in 2021? Let's hear it. And you're on mute. But there you go.
Okay. Basically, I'm going to eliminate procrastination, and be a little more consistent. Because I do the same thing. I don't like doing something, and I'll do that after I do this, or I got to do this first, and then I never get it done.
One of my most successful friends, period. Him and I will be talking about, something in business, and I'll be telling him, hey, yeah, we do this and we do that, and then he'll pick up his phone and I think he's checking out on me, and he's texting his marketing director and telling her to do it right now. I'm dead serious. And he is extremely successful, and that is why. There are talkers and there are doers. And, I think we both do a little bit of both, but if we do more than we talk, probably going to have big results. You know what I mean? Because all of us have these big plans. We're going to do these
Big plans.
big things.
Big plan.
I'm going to plan
Yeah.
to plan to
Yeah.
plan to plan to execute eventually.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, Adam, you had to twist my arm to get us doing this show. I mean, this is all him, by the way, you know, and
Yeah.
finally he had to come in and throw a fit and get all huffy,
He did.
you know, and now here we are. But I mean, but he got it done, right? And I'm sorry, he can't talk because we took his mic. And that's what he gets. All right. So, so anyways, moving into the sunshine.
Okay.
Nature is always available, accessible. For some people, it's the ocean, horns. And again, sometimes the common life things, we don't realize the negativity that still surrounds us that we can remove ourselves from, you know. No matter where you are, however, this is the advice. Now it starts getting into the exercises of how we can implement the nature portions
Okay.
into our life, right? Because it's
Okay.
101 exercises for the soul.
Okay.
And it says, no matter where you are, in a traffic, or in traffic, in a hospital room, or even an office, try to see the positives of the world around you at all times. So you and I have a view of the parking lot next to the greasy, dirty motel at the backside of a bar. Okay?
We
But
have
there's a palm
seen-
tree out there.
But we've seen some good stuff. Good stuff.
for the world.
You wouldn't trade it for the
I
world.
wouldn't. I wouldn't move my office for the world.
Imagine that, guys. We're behind a bar that butts up to a greasy, dirty motel.
It humbles you.
It is great. It is. I mean, every time you're bored, you just walk to the window.
So
Everyone, get over here.
we all
You gotta
go
see
ahead.
it. You know, I mean, we've seen all kinds of shit. But I'm getting off topic. What
Oh,
are you
sorry.
doing?
No,
All right.
but there's beauty in that too. We're entertained. There's beauty in that.
So, but it does say that, you know, looking at your environments and the positives, and I'm going to take this, like what it was saying is, you know, and I don't know if you've ever done this, but like in April when you drive down the 15 freeway and, you know, everybody's getting
Oh, the
crazy and
poppies.
pulling over and stopping to look at the poppies on the hills or, you know, you're stopped in traffic, but when you're going down like some of the canyons through Pomona and Diamond Bar and stuff and the huge green mountains everywhere and stuff, like every once in a while we should say like, you know, I may be stuck in traffic right now, but this is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
You know, pretty sweet. So it just says wherever you are, whatever you're doing, try to look at the positive portions of it. Next is, and I thought this was interesting. I only put a short little thing, but it says, create a nature poem.
Okay, create a nature poem.
Create a nature poem. And for me, you know, this is one of the, you know, grunt in the mirror and stuff. But
Like a
whatever, I'm
haiku?
gonna go with it.
Okay.
So it says, celebrate your positive, and I tweaked it a little bit, but celebrate your positive feelings, your observations, and your gratitude. You know, because this is telling you to write poems about the nature around you. And again, I'm just not that kind of guy. I want to be,
I want to be a writer.
but I'm as shallow as a paper plate.
I know, me too.
I know, but what are you gonna do? I don't know.
No.
So, but maybe we should write a poem. You want to write a poem, Michael?
No.
All right. No,
Michael
you're no
says-
help at all. Thanks.
Henry Thoreau stuff.
No, it's gonna be more like the tree was green. It made me
moved.
happy. It moved. The wind. I could do this. All right. So
It's done. Everyone else, write your poem.
the
We're
end.
done.
So no, but basically it says, you know, to keep a journal, a notebook, a piece of paper, your favorite pencil, your favorite pen, and when you see something really cool, take the time to do it. Take the time to write it down. Take the time to acknowledge it, you know, and put it in some form of a poem. And I was thinking about that, and if you don't want to do it just at nature, like what if we took the time to write about the positivity things around us?
Yeah, because that was in chapter 1, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If we do that right in your book, 10 Things Positive at Night or something?
Right. 10 things positive about your life. Yeah. I kind of went back to that.
I like it.
Because it just, again, the nature thing, Tommy, you could probably come up with some cool stuff. Like if you really took the time and, you know, like I don't know why, but maybe it's just the way I was raised. I feel weird about like writing a poem or reading one or something, even though it'd probably be really moving and great.
Because you'd really try to be really cool. That's why. You're
Like,
scared.
look how deep I am. Read this, Janie. How do I look now? You know?
Timothy Moore.
Yeah. So look, I'm deep. You know, and you know, I try to be. But anyways, so as you walk around, observe and listen, make written notes about the awareness of the things that you're grateful for, nature that's around you as you walk through the world in your day. That was the suggested exercise.
I like it. I like it.
And then put it into a little poem.
I like it.
Next one, gardening.
I say it all the time. I want to be a gardener. We have gardeners out there, and my husband says you say this every year. Every year for 21 years, you have said you want to be a gardener. You want to plant things.
If we could plan it and do it once for like 30 minutes and then it looked great for a year.
We don't know how to tend things, to take care of things, maybe.
Well, maybe that could be it. I mean, it says that And this, I believe, is true. Gardening is basically therapy. And I do have a friend, as a matter of fact, Nick Montier, if you remember him out of Long Beach.
Yeah.
His backyard, I saw him walking through, and I went up to my buddy that owns Danforth in Seattle, and I got to go to his house. His garden was huger than his whole property, and he had the big, giant like wood troughs with all the wood in, and he was so proud of
That's
his
what I
fruit
want.
trees and his plants and his blackberries and his this and his that, and basically like. I love the guy, but I will bump him off if the apocalypse comes because I could survive there based on what he has.
Yes.
I see Sarah Price. She loves working on her succulent gardens. Succulents can take a beating, so we could probably do a succulent garden.
We could, but she does tend them. I see that on Instagram. She does take care of them.
Anybody else?
Let me go to chat here.
I saw
Anybody else?
Janie
Speak up,
shaking her
speak
head.
up.
Do you have a garden, Janie? Do you have something in your backyard or in your house? No? You just like the idea.
I like the ideal. When I was younger, not anymore.
No? Why not?
I like looking at it.
Yeah,
I don't have time. I would rather be like going somewhere.
Yeah.
I guess that.
Yeah.
Maybe it has to do with the seasons of our lives. You know what I mean? Like if you're stuck at home and you don't have any kids yet, and you don't really like the dude you're with or whatever, and you're bored. No?
Well, you didn't explain any of the people on here. That's none of them.
Yeah. You're...
Oh.
I'd rather be at the beach.
Yeah.
Right.
Or mountains.
I get that.
But I love gardening. I love looking at it.
Sarah Price, fill us in. What's gardening all about? Just give us a minute. I don't know. Go ahead.
It's therapy.
Okay.
It's therapy. And when my kids are driving me insane, I just go outside and get fresh air and propagate my succulents and make more and just make it pretty. And at the beginning of quarantine, I said, if anything else, my garden's going to be pretty at the end of this.
Now that's a good idea.
And it's beautiful.
That's a good idea, Sarah. That's a really good idea. Yeah, and I get a lot of thumbs up, Sarah. Like I think people agree with that. And I saw, I like that. And you know what? It could be therapy if you're stuck in the house, and you need a project to go work on. That's a pretty healthy, damn great project. And when they blow up and turn all beautiful and stuff, you're responsible for that. So I like that. John Hill, how you been, buddy? I see you on. I don't know if your mute is working or not, but how about you, man? Do you do any gardening first off? But secondly, what are you getting rid of in 2020 and going to charge towards in 2021?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that, and nothing. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I don't garden. I don't hike. I sell, and I get motivated when I sell. But one of the things I did learn that I did like that we talked about was the word now. When I was in the car business, they'd say, what time do you close? I'd say in 10 minutes because I'm out of here. So we need to do it now. There is no tonight, and there's no be back bus where people drive back and do things. Real estate's a little different, but if I don't do things now, I forget, I put them off, I just don't do them. So I've been a now guy forever.
I like that. And that's, and John,
to take out the garbage, I do it right now. It's not either.
I like that because it adds up, right? And next thing you know, you can almost become overwhelmed with all the things you have to do if you don't do them now. Did we lose him?
He's froze.
Yeah, he's froze. So I like that. I like that. Go ahead. We lost you for a minute there, John. Lost him again. Oh, your picture dropped too.
Oh, okay. Well,
No, I'm still here. I'm still here.
Okay, good. So sorry about that. We're having some technical difficulties.
here.
Yeah.
But John, I like that, and I think that's something that we should all do. And it's like I always laugh and say that during the time that we're writing down the to-do list, we could be doing that item.
100%.
And I think that's what John's saying.
Yeah.
You're muted, John.
And I love that John's saying he's just going for it. He's going to keep on keeping on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, you just said something though, John. Go ahead.
Oh, if I don't do it now, it doesn't get done.
Is that a guy
and
thing?
So I don't go to put it on a list that someday. I have stacks of things that I'm going to do someday, and they're piled, and they keep piling up. If you look at my desk over there, I keep all that stuff because someday I'm going to organize it.
Someday Isle, isn't that what they called it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go visit Someday Isle.
Yeah.
So I like that.
There is no someday for me.
I like that.
So-
Awesome. Okay, so the next thing it talked about, and this one I do agree with. Thanks, John. I was, 10 o'clock? Wow. Hey, sorry, the therapy session is over.
Oh, I need
know,
5 more minutes.
Nope, it's over. But we're going to get right back here because
Okay.
this next section
Okay.
is really, really good. So next Monday, guys, next Monday is going to be 2021.
Oh my Lord.
Next Monday is going to be 2021, and it's going to be time to make that run at our lives and do things right here in this next 300 and how many days are in a year?
364?
How many days are in a year? 365.
I don't. How many letters in the alphabet?
Her
How
goal
many
is to
decks
learn
in the
how many
card?
days are in a year. All right. You went to Hemet High? What?
Hell yeah.
Okay. All right. So that being the kicker, I do want to mention one thing though. We are going to be having a couple things I wanted you to know. We are going to be having a couple of things coming
Oh,
up.
good. I was wondering about what's coming up.
We have our goal setting session, and
Okay.
the goal setting session I want you to know is not about business planning.
Okay.
This is a goal session about who you want to be, where you want to go, how much money you want to make, the impact you want to have, your family, your relationships.
Love
It's
it.
about all those touchy-feely things that are what life's really about. So
Yeah.
the goal session is going to be January 7th. I'm going to be delivering books to the offices, and for those of you guys that are at Coast Alliance and different places, we're going to be delivering them out to you. There'll also be a downloadable place that you can download them
cool.
and print them right there off of our show. And we'll go from there. But on January 7th, it's going to be 2 hours. I'll send you guys out the links and details and all that sort of stuff. But the books are coming together. It's going to be really great, and I'm super excited.
I'm excited.
All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you. Happy New Year to everyone. Vicky, thank you for that.
Hey, Chuck.
Yes.
Chuck, I want an announcement too. I just found out as well. Gov Hutchinson, CIR's lead attorney, will be doing our Zoom call February 10th and all the new laws
Awesome.
that have come into for 2021.
Awesome. Thank you, Vic. So what time, January 7th? It says, I'm not sure if it's either going to be 9 a.m. or 10 a.m., but we will have a show prior to that, and we will post it out everywhere to the world. So I'm not sure if it's either 9 or 10, but we are on it. So thank you guys very much for tuning in. Jenny, you're the best.
Thank you, everyone. Good to see you.
Happy New Year, all. Happy New Year, Jenny.
Bye, guys.
Adam, you're a good boy. You get your mic back. Goodbye, guys. Talk to you soon.